I've been looking forward to today since it was organised. We've had to get to know each other. There's been no option. We've just had to do it on Zoom. And for this to be a conclusion of that is really nice. You're exactly as I imagined you to be.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a great way.
In a great way.
Yeah.
That's sweet. I feel like I should compliment you now.
So my role essentially is to bring that therapeutic lens to the group. So to think about group therapy and group process and really support the psychosocial goals of the young people. So I graduated music therapy, the Masters of Music Therapy in 2015. And since then I've known all about Aardvark. It's been this special program that I always wanted to be a part of. But I've been working in youth homelessness for the last 5 years before Aardvark. And then luckily this role came up and I quickly made the transition over.
My role at Aardvark Music is the youth support lead, which is a brand new role, which I was lucky enough to have this year. And basically my role is to kind of look after the Aardvarkians behind the scenes in a sense, like check up on them, make sure they're okay. So I actually was part of the program back in 2016. I loved it so much that I decided to study youth work. And once I finished my qualification, I was employed here.
My role at Aardvark Music is the resident songwriter. I was working mostly as a freelance music producer, trying to, I guess now as I get older, pass on knowledge. And so I've known Asami for a really long time because we worked on music together. And then a vacancy came up here and I moved over.
Sometimes I float up to and forget where I came from.
So the benefits of having the therapeutic lens and that music lens and that music production lens, I think it really caters to what the young people want and need. So the young people themselves, no one wants to come in and do some special group for special kids. What young people want to do is they want to come and make music, right? But they might need more supports than other community groups might offer or their school might offer. So they might find themselves here at Aardvark.
I found the dual role really exciting because it was so new to me. So I can help people write songs, that's fine. But now I've learnt I'm starting to, and there's a long way to go, but I'm starting to adopt that therapeutic lens that Asami has been talking about. And both Asami and Morgan coming through the program as well, I feel like they've both helped me learn a lot about working with at-risk young people. It's been really great. I mean, you described it well, and I was like, yeah, sounds great. And then someone pulled the knob on the washing machine and it was just like, here we go.
Our house isn't always a home.
Where to begin, hey? This year, just like us as humans, it was intense that COVID hit and we didn't know what was happening and it felt really scary, especially in March. And then at the same time, kind of being responsible for these young people and taking care of them and also watching them struggle through COVID as well, and seeing a lot of them disengage. We had some young people who were very immunocompromised as well. So then that anxiety that they had to live with during COVID, that was really full on. And then also on top of that, like how are we going to make music online? That was, yeah, we can't even jam in person together, you know?
That's hard enough. People, especially the varying levels at which all the young people come into the program, trying to get them to interface and interact with each other, even if we had access to a classroom and were allowed to use it, is already difficult with the virus and having to work remotely. There's the problem of latency and bandwidth, and everything is just like become two-dimensionalized and it's slow, like it's really slow. So the original goal with what the Aardvark program was meant to be was to have 4 recorded songs. So 4 per 14-week program. And so we've had to reduce that to 2, and there were stages where I didn't think we were even going to get there. Because so obviously no studio recording is involved. One of the questions we'd ask would be like, what do you really want to get out of this? And they're like, I can't wait to get to a music studio. And then so not being able to fulfill that, there's a reduced like reward or goal to aim for.
I was going to say that because I think a lot of the young people's main motivation was having that recording and like having it on a physical CD. and you're doing the end of year performances and gigs. So we had to find a way to kind of shift that and make it as rewarding.
Well, we crashed and burned in the first 14 weeks, didn't we?
We used every kind of technology you could think of. And then luckily one of our youth mentors told us about BandLab, which is a software that you can have this thing called a live session, where essentially people can be working at the same time. You're not playing music at the same time, but you're in a session at the same time. And you can see other people working on different tracks.
The program culminated in a wonderful result. We managed to get 2 songs, and I mean, so all the things like object writing, lyric writing, rhyming, recording instruments and using BandLab, all of those we combined and encouraged and nudged them to put all of that into a soup and then like serve it up. So we ended up with 2 bowls of soup.
Stay happy. I thought I was on my own. I started to learn to grow. Started to learn to be a better man.
Thought I was talking slow. Started to burn the low. Started to find myself a better man.
There were so many. I think the listening party was definitely a highlight.
Even like at the end in our listening party, there was some tears shed. It was a bit emotional. So just to see, I think the whole program that all of us, you know, worked so hard to kind of create in this short period of time and have it really mean something to these young people as well was super, super rewarding.
That was delightful. When they would hear their skills, the product of their work, and be proud of it, words didn't even really need to be spoken. You could tell just by their vibe that they were like, that's cool. And it's like, but that's you, like you did that.
Hopefully in-person sessions and hopefully a vaccine so we can all feel comfortable doing so.
I think at core it will probably go back to what it was in like 2019 because I think it's still, you know, at core we're creating songs and creating music. And I guess I wouldn't be disappointed because I think now we've got a pretty solid program that we can run online, but I'm really hopeful we can bring it in person. Yeah, we'd like to thank all the Aardvarkians who have taken part in the program this year because it has been huge. You've accomplished so much and we're all so proud of you. You should be proud of yourselves.